The question that you were asking, Twice knew a few villains that would ask for more than what could happen. In Twice's head, there were a few things that even he wanted, but your feelings and comfort mattered to Twice. Even though the other part of him would just ask you for what he wanted, with no remorse. Once again, Twice kept his other thoughts to himself, because you were a safe and loving place in his heart. Twice was determined to keep you happy and take care of you, the only way a real villain could. Trying not to mess up his words, Twice slowly said what he wanted to say. Will you marry me? As soon as Twice seen you blushing, that was when Twice realized what he said to you, and was not blushing more than you. Not even a second passed. Then Twice passed out cold, falling back on the floor very hard in the process of landing on the floor below, still out cold. You knew what Twice wanted to say, smiling to yourself then running downstairs to his side. As you checked his heartbeat and his forehead, you were surprised to see that Twice was asleep. Carrying Twice back upstairs was not so bad. Still hearing him sleep made you smile again. My answer, Twice, is yes. As you laid Twice in bed, then covered him with a blanket and a cold washcloth for his forehead. Even though Twice was asleep, you had a feeling that he heard your answer, and you could tell that Twice was different. Only a few villains ever got their wish from you. Then there were some who died from their greed. You laid by Twice for a little bit. Besides being a villain, you had one more job, and that was being a singer. Slowly you fell asleep, just finally feeling Twice wrap his arm around your waist. The few villains that you had been a companion to, not even one had stolen your heart like Twice. Before morning, you made Twice something to eat, then went to the agency where you worked, because he couldn't walk in the sunlight. When Twice woke up in bed, he had forgotten where he was and remembered this place was yours. Checking his phone, the time was the late afternoon. There were messages from Dobby and Toga. Twice still felt tired, but it was time to get back to being a villain for the person he loved. After enjoying the food you cooked for him, then taking a shower, that was when Twice called Kurogiri. Very surprising that you're calling Twice. I know that, Kurogiri. What's the assignment? The assignment was the usual, breaking into a lab or just killing someone that had no more use. Dobby and Toga were waiting on what Twice would decide, then Twice had an idea. Just hearing the idea that Twice had in mind, even Kurogiri was wondering what was going on with Twice. Twice, are you sure about this? No villain has done that. I am sure because of a person I cherish. Since you want to pursue this assignment, I will help you. After deciding on a place to meet, Twice hung up the phone, still sitting in your room on the bed. The item that Twice wanted to steal was more than rare. In its own way, it was said to be one of a kind. The item was the crescent moon kimono that was made by Endeavor's first wife that he had no memory of, and this kimono was special. Like the stories of the crescent moon mermaid, only a few villains ever seen this hero who was loving, caring, and kind to heroes and villains. The kimono had a story of its own. The kimono was said to be as beautiful as the moon itself. It would shine like the stars. Twice knew that he did not need to steal this kimono for you, but Twice wanted to show you that his love was not false or weak. The love Twice had for you was a love that you found on your own, and with a bit of luck, also a date during the crescent moon. I swear you will know my true feelings. When Twice said his promise out loud, you were standing in the hall listening quietly, taking a breath and walking into your room as Twice had gotten up from where he was sitting on the bed, even though you had just returned from work, only being away from Twice for a few hours and then coming home to see him. The way that you looked at Twice, not even Toga or Dobby could have as much love as you did for him. Before Twice left, he hugged you, like you had been away from him longer than a few hours that day. Twice then kissed you lovingly like he did the first time the both of you went on a date. Twice then hugged you one more time, then asked you a favor. Wait 2 days for me. There is something I need to do. Just looking into Twice's eyes, you could see that he was almost pleading and afraid at the same time. You kissed his cheek and smiled at him. I'll happily wait for you, Twice.